The difference between success and failure is often not talent, intelligence, luck, or opportunity. The real difference is discipline. Discipline is the bridge between where you are today and where you want to be tomorrow. Every great achievement begins with a decision to do what is necessary, even when it is uncomfortable. Most people want success, but very few are willing to embrace the daily habits that create it. Your future is not determined by your wishes. It is determined by your choices. Every day you are becoming someone. The question is, who are you becoming? The answer is found in your daily routine. What you repeatedly do eventually becomes who you are. Discipline means controlling your emotions instead of allowing your emotions to control you. It means getting up when you don't feel like getting up. It means working when you don't feel motivated. It means staying focused when distractions are calling your name. Many people wait for motivation before they take action. Successful people take action whether they feel motivated or not. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline remains. When discipline becomes a lifestyle, progress becomes inevitable. The greatest enemy of your dream is not failure, it is inconsistency. A person who takes small disciplined steps every day will eventually outperform the person who relies only on bursts of enthusiasm. Small actions repeated consistently create extraordinary results. Discipline also builds character. It teaches patience, responsibility, self-control, and perseverance. These qualities are more valuable than any talent because they determine how far your talent can take you. Talent can open doors, but discipline keeps those doors open. You must understand that every decision carries a consequence. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you delay your progress. Every time you choose discipline over excuses, you move closer to your purpose. The life you desire is hidden behind the habits you avoid. Success is not a mystery. It is the result of disciplined actions repeated over time. The person you admire today became that person through years of commitment, sacrifice, and consistency. Do not be discouraged by slow progress. Great achievements are built one day at a time. Keep showing up. Keep learning, keep improving, keep moving forward even when no one is watching. Your discipline is preparing you for opportunities you cannot yet see. Remember, your destiny is too important to be left to chance. Take control of your time. Take control of your habits. Take control of your decisions. The moment you master yourself, you begin to master your future. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is freedom. It frees you from regret, excuses, wasted potential, and missed opportunities. When you develop discipline, you become capable of creating the life you were designed to live. Start today. Start now. One disciplined choice can begin a completely different future. Your life changes the moment your discipline becomes stronger than your excuses. Discipline is the foundation upon which every lasting success is built. Many people spend their lives searching for shortcuts, secret formulas, and quick solutions, believing that success belongs to those who are naturally gifted or fortunate enough to be in the right place at the right time. While talent, intelligence, and opportunity can certainly provide advantages, they are not the determining factors behind long-term achievement. The individuals who consistently rise above challenges and accomplish meaningful goals are often those who have mastered the art of discipline. Discipline allows a person to remain committed when excitement fades, when obstacles appear, and when progress seems slow. It creates a structure that keeps a person moving forward regardless of circumstances. Without discipline, even the most talented individuals can waste their potential, while those with average abilities can achieve extraordinary results through consistent effort and determination. Success is rarely the result of a single action or one remarkable moment. Instead, it is the outcome of countless decisions made over time. Every successful person reaches their destination by repeatedly choosing actions that align with their goals. These choices are often small and seemingly insignificant on a daily basis, but their cumulative effect becomes powerful over weeks, months, and years. Discipline ensures that a person continues making those productive choices even when distractions, fatigue, or temporary setbacks threaten to derail progress. It is easy to work hard when everything is going well and motivation is high, but true discipline reveals itself when circumstances become difficult. The ability to continue moving forward despite discomfort separates those who merely dream from those who achieve. Every great accomplishment, whether in business, education, leadership, sports, or personal development, rests on a foundation of disciplined behavior practiced consistently over time. One of the greatest misconceptions about success is the belief that motivation is enough to sustain progress. Motivation is valuable because it can inspire action, but it is often temporary and unpredictable. Some days a person feels energized, focused, and eager to pursue their goals. On other days, those feelings may disappear completely. If success depended solely on motivation, very few people would ever accomplish anything significant. Discipline fills the gap when motivation fades. It enables a person to act based on commitment rather than emotion. A disciplined individual understands that feelings should not determine actions. They recognize that progress comes from doing what needs to be done regardless of how they feel in the moment. This mindset creates consistency, and consistency is one of the most important ingredients of achievement. The disciplined person continues studying when others stop, continues practicing when others quit, and continues working toward their vision when others become discouraged by temporary difficulties. Discipline also creates reliability, which is an essential quality for personal and professional success. People who develop disciplined habits become dependable because their actions are guided by principles rather than moods. They honor commitments, manage their responsibilities effectively, and maintain high standards even when no one is watching. This reliability earns trust from others and opens doors to greater opportunities. Employers value disciplined workers because they can be counted on to perform consistently. Leaders value disciplined team members because they fulfill their responsibilities without constant supervision. Friends and family respect disciplined individuals because they demonstrate integrity and follow through on their promises. Success often depends not only on what a person can do, but also on whether others can trust them to do it consistently. Discipline strengthens character and builds a reputation that attracts opportunities and creates lasting influence. Another reason discipline serves as the foundation of success is that it helps people overcome obstacles that would otherwise stop them. Every worthwhile goal comes with challenges, setbacks, and moments of frustration. There will always be unexpected difficulties, failures, and disappointments along the journey. Without discipline, these obstacles can become excuses for giving up. However, disciplined individuals develop resilience because they are accustomed to doing difficult things. They understand that challenges are not signs to quit, but opportunities to grow stronger. Each time they push through discomfort, they build greater confidence in their ability to handle future difficulties. Discipline trains the mind to focus on solutions rather than problems. Instead of becoming overwhelmed by temporary setbacks, disciplined people remain committed to their objectives and continue taking productive action. This persistence often becomes the deciding factor between those who eventually succeed and those who abandon their goals too soon. The power of discipline becomes even more evident when viewed over long periods of time. A single disciplined action may not seem significant, but repeated daily, it produces remarkable transformation. Small improvements accumulate and create momentum that grows stronger with each passing day. A person who reads a little every day gains knowledge that compounds over time. A person who saves money consistently builds financial stability. A person who practices a skill regularly develops expertise. These results are rarely immediate, which is why many people underestimate the importance of discipline. They focus on instant gratification rather than long-term rewards. Yet every major achievement is built through steady, disciplined effort applied consistently over time. Success is not usually created through dramatic breakthroughs, but through the willingness to perform ordinary actions with extraordinary consistency. Discipline turns intentions into actions, actions into habits, habits into results, and results into lasting success. It provides the stability, consistency, resilience, and commitment necessary to transform goals into reality and dreams into accomplishments. Your daily habits shape your future more than any single decision you will ever make. Many people focus on major events and life-changing opportunities, believing that success is determined by a few important moments. In reality, the direction of a person's life is often determined by the small actions they repeat every day. Every habit, whether positive or negative, acts like a vote for the kind of person you are becoming. The way you spend your mornings, manage your time, approach your responsibilities, and respond to challenges gradually shapes your character and influences your future outcomes. Success is not created overnight, and neither is failure. Both are the result of repeated behaviors practiced consistently over time. What you do occasionally may have some impact, but what you do consistently has the power to transform your entire life. Your future is not hidden somewhere far away waiting to be discovered. It is being created right now through the habits you choose to maintain each day. Many people underestimate the power of small daily actions because the results are not immediately visible. Reading 10 pages of a book today may not seem significant. Exercising for 30 minutes may not produce instant physical transformation. Saving a small amount of money may not create immediate wealth. However, these actions gain power through repetition. Just as a tiny seed eventually grows into a massive tree, small habits accumulate and produce remarkable results over time. The challenge is that positive habits often provide delayed rewards, while negative habits frequently offer immediate satisfaction. This causes many people to choose temporary comfort over long-term growth. They do not realize that every choice carries consequences that compound over months and years. The person who consistently invests in productive habits may not notice dramatic changes at first, but eventually those habits create a completely different future. The gap between success and failure is often found in the daily routines people repeat without giving them much thought. The quality of your habits determines the quality of your results. If your habits are focused on learning, growth, discipline, and self-improvement, your future will reflect those investments. If your habits are centered on procrastination, distraction, and inconsistency, your future will reflect those choices as well. Life tends to move in the direction of your repeated actions. A person who spends time developing valuable skills becomes more capable and confident. A person who consistently avoids responsibility eventually finds themselves unprepared for greater opportunities. Every habit is building something. Some habits build strength, while others build weakness. Some habits move you closer to your goals, while others quietly pull you away from them. Whether you realize it or not, your daily routines are constantly shaping the person you will become. This is why successful individuals pay close attention to their habits. They understand that excellence is not an event, but a pattern of behavior repeated consistently over time. Habits are powerful because they eventually become automatic. What begins as a conscious decision gradually becomes a natural part of daily life. This can work either for or against you. Positive habits make productive actions easier because they require less mental effort over time. A person who develops the habit of waking up early, exercising regularly, reading consistently, or managing time effectively no longer struggles with those activities the way they did in the beginning. The behavior becomes part of their identity. In the same way, negative habits become deeply rooted when practiced repeatedly. Procrastination, laziness, poor time management, and unhealthy routines can become automatic patterns that limit growth and success. Because habits become ingrained over time, it is important to be intentional about what you practice every day. Every repeated action is reinforcing a pattern that will either help or hinder your future progress. Your future identity is directly connected to your present habits. Many people want different results without changing the behaviors that produce their current circumstances. They desire success, confidence, financial stability, strong relationships, and personal growth, yet continue repeating the same habits that keep them stuck. Lasting transformation does not begin with wishing for a different future. It begins with changing daily behavior. When you consistently act like the person you want to become, your identity gradually changes. A disciplined person becomes disciplined through disciplined actions. A successful person becomes successful through successful habits. Confidence grows through repeated acts of courage and preparation. Excellence develops through continuous practice and improvement. Every habit is shaping not only what you achieve, but also who you become. This is why personal growth is ultimately a daily process rather than a single event. The person you will be 5 years from now is largely determined by the habits you choose to practice today. The remarkable thing about habits is that they have the power to completely transform a life when given enough time. A small positive change repeated every day can create results that seem impossible in the beginning. Consistent effort often appears insignificant on a daily basis, but its impact becomes extraordinary when measured over months and years. The person who commits to learning every day eventually becomes knowledgeable. The person who consistently develops skills eventually becomes valuable. The person who manages time wisely eventually accomplishes more than those who rely on occasional bursts of effort. Great achievements are rarely built through dramatic actions. They are built through disciplined habits maintained over long periods. Every day offers an opportunity to strengthen habits that support your goals and create a better future. The life you experience tomorrow is being shaped by the choices you make today, and the habits you repeat daily are quietly building the future you will eventually live. Discipline is stronger than motivation because it provides a dependable foundation for action regardless of how a person feels. Many people begin their journey toward success with great enthusiasm. They feel inspired, energized, and ready to conquer their goals. During these moments, working hard seems easy because excitement fuels their efforts. However, motivation is an emotion, and emotions are constantly changing. There will be days when energy is high and confidence is strong, but there will also be days filled with doubt, fatigue, frustration, and discouragement. If a person's progress depends entirely on motivation, their results will always be inconsistent. They will move forward when they feel inspired and stop when they do not. Discipline eliminates this problem by creating a commitment to action that exists beyond temporary emotions. It teaches a person to continue working toward their goals whether they feel excited or not. This is why discipline becomes the true driving force behind long-term success, while motivation serves only as a temporary spark. Motivation often focuses on feelings, while discipline focuses on responsibility. A motivated person may say, "I will do this when I feel ready." A disciplined person says, "I will do this because it needs to be done." This difference may seem small, but it has enormous consequences over time. Feelings can be unreliable because they are influenced by circumstances, challenges, stress, and even minor inconveniences. Waiting for the perfect emotional state before taking action often leads to procrastination and missed opportunities. Discipline teaches a person to honor commitments regardless of emotional conditions. It develops the ability to act according to principles rather than impulses. Successful individuals understand that important goals require consistent effort, and consistency cannot be maintained if it depends on changing emotions. By choosing discipline over feelings, they ensure that progress continues even during difficult seasons when motivation is nowhere to be found. One of the greatest advantages of discipline is that it creates stability during challenging times. Every meaningful goal comes with obstacles, setbacks, and moments of disappointment. There will be times when progress seems slower than expected, when mistakes occur, and when the results of hard work are not immediately visible. These are the moments when motivation often disappears. Many people begin with excitement, but when difficulties arise, their enthusiasm fades and they abandon their goals. Discipline provides the strength to continue despite these challenges. It reminds a person that temporary discomfort should not determine permanent decisions. A disciplined individual understands that setbacks are part of the process rather than reasons to quit. Instead of being controlled by frustration, they remain focused on their responsibilities and continue taking action. This ability to persist through adversity is one of the most powerful qualities that discipline develops. Discipline also creates momentum, which becomes increasingly valuable over time. Every action taken despite a lack of motivation strengthens the habit of consistency. Each time a person chooses to work when they would rather rest, study when they would rather procrastinate, or practice when they would rather quit, they reinforce a mindset of commitment. These choices build momentum that makes future actions easier. Over time, discipline becomes a natural part of a person's character rather than something they must constantly force themselves to do. This momentum allows them to maintain progress even when circumstances become difficult. While motivated individuals may experience periods of intense effort followed by inactivity, disciplined individuals continue moving forward steadily. Their progress may seem slower at times, but it is far more reliable because it is built on consistent action rather than fluctuating emotions. Another reason discipline is stronger than motivation is that it produces lasting results. Motivation often encourages people to start, but discipline enables them to finish. Many people have exciting ideas, ambitious goals, and strong desires for success. The challenge is not beginning, the challenge is continuing long enough to achieve meaningful results. The path to success requires repetition, patience, and persistence. These qualities are rarely sustained by motivation alone. Discipline allows a person to remain committed through the repetitive stages of growth when excitement has faded and the work becomes routine. It teaches them to value progress over feelings and commitment over convenience. As a result, disciplined individuals are able to accomplish goals that others abandon halfway through. Their achievements are not based on moments of inspiration, but on their willingness to continue taking action long after the initial excitement has disappeared. The most successful people understand that discipline gives them control over their lives in a way that motivation never can. When a person relies on motivation, they become dependent on circumstances that are often outside their control. They wait for inspiration, the right mood, or favorable conditions before taking action. Discipline removes this dependence by placing responsibility back into the hands of the individual. It empowers people to act intentionally regardless of external conditions. A disciplined person does not allow emotions to dictate their behavior. They recognize that feelings come and go, but commitments remain. This mindset creates confidence because they know they can trust themselves to follow through on their responsibilities. Over time, this self-trust becomes one of the greatest sources of personal strength. While motivation may inspire occasional action, discipline creates a lifestyle of consistent progress, continuous growth, and lasting achievement. It becomes the force that carries a person forward when enthusiasm fades, challenges arise, and success requires far more than simply feeling inspired. Consistency beats intensity because lasting success is not built through occasional bursts of effort, but through steady, repeated action over time. Many people believe that extraordinary results require extraordinary effort all at once. They become highly motivated for a short period, work intensely for a few days or weeks, and then gradually lose momentum. This cycle of extreme effort followed by inactivity often leads to frustration because progress remains inconsistent. While intense effort can produce temporary results, it rarely creates lasting success. Consistency, on the other hand, allows progress to continue regardless of circumstances. It focuses on showing up every day, doing the necessary work, and maintaining forward movement even when the results are not immediately visible. The person who takes small steps consistently will often achieve more than the person who relies on occasional periods of intense activity. Success is not determined by what you do once in a while. It is determined by what you do repeatedly over time. One reason consistency is so powerful is that it allows progress to compound. Small actions may seem insignificant when viewed individually, but their impact becomes remarkable when repeated daily. Reading a few pages each day may not seem life-changing, yet over the course of a year it can result in the completion of many books and the acquisition of valuable knowledge. Exercising consistently for a short period each day may not produce dramatic changes overnight, but over months and years it can transform physical health and fitness. Saving a small amount of money regularly may appear insignificant at first, but the accumulation of those savings can eventually create financial stability. Consistency turns ordinary actions into extraordinary results because every effort builds upon the one before it. This compounding effect is often invisible in the beginning, which is why many people underestimate its power. However, those who remain consistent eventually experience results that seem far greater than the effort they invested. Intensity often creates excitement, but consistency creates transformation. Intense effort can feel productive because it produces a sense of urgency and accomplishment. However, many people mistake activity for progress. They work extremely hard for a short period and then become exhausted, discouraged, or distracted. As a result, they stop altogether and lose the momentum they had built. Consistency avoids this problem by focusing on sustainability. It encourages a person to develop routines and habits that can be maintained over the long term. Rather than relying on occasional moments of extraordinary effort, consistent individuals create systems that allow them to make progress every day. They understand that lasting success is a marathon, not a sprint. By maintaining a steady pace, they avoid burnout and continue moving toward their goals even when challenges arise. This steady approach often produces better results because it keeps progress alive for far longer than temporary periods of intense effort. Another advantage of consistency is that it strengthens discipline and character. Every time a person follows through on a commitment, they reinforce the habit of reliability. They prove to themselves that they can be trusted to do what needs to be done regardless of their mood or circumstances. This repeated follow-through builds confidence because it creates evidence of personal dependability. Over time, consistent action becomes part of a person's identity. They no longer see themselves as someone who occasionally works hard, but as someone who consistently honors commitments and pursues goals. This shift in identity is incredibly powerful because it influences future behavior. The more consistently a person acts with discipline, the easier it becomes to maintain that behavior. Consistency creates a positive cycle where productive actions reinforce productive habits, leading to even greater progress and personal growth. Consistency also helps people overcome the challenges that naturally occur during any journey towards success. Every worthwhile goal involves periods of slow progress, unexpected obstacles, and moments of disappointment. During these times, intense effort often fades because enthusiasm is difficult to maintain when results are delayed. Consistent individuals understand that progress is not always visible immediately. They do not allow temporary setbacks to determine their long-term direction. Instead, they remain focused on the process and continue taking action regardless of short-term outcomes. This persistence gives them a significant advantage because most people quit when success is closer than they realize. Consistency enables a person to remain committed through difficult seasons and continue building momentum even when circumstances become challenging. It transforms perseverance from an occasional act into a daily habit that keeps progress moving forward. The greatest achievements in life are almost always the result of consistent effort applied over long periods of time. Mastery of any skill, success in any profession, strong relationships, financial growth, personal development, and meaningful accomplishments all require sustained commitment. These achievements are rarely the product of a single extraordinary effort. Instead, they are built through countless ordinary actions repeated faithfully day after day. The person who consistently learns, practices, improves, and grows eventually reaches levels that seem impossible to those who rely only on intensity. Consistency may not always feel exciting, and its rewards may not appear immediately, but its power lies in its ability to produce lasting results. It transforms small efforts into significant achievements, simple habits into remarkable success, and ordinary individuals into extraordinary examples of what persistent dedication can accomplish. Through consistency, progress becomes inevitable because every day contributes another step toward the future a person desires to create. Discipline develops character because it requires a person to consistently choose what is right over what is easy. Character is not formed during moments of comfort and convenience. It is formed through decisions made when challenges, temptations, and difficulties arise. Every time a person chooses responsibility instead of excuses, commitment instead of laziness, and perseverance instead of quitting, they strengthen the qualities that define strong character. These choices may seem small in the moment, but they gradually shape the kind of person someone becomes. Character is not something that appears overnight. It is built through repeated actions and disciplined decisions over time. The habits a person practices daily eventually become part of their identity, influencing how they think, behave, and respond to life's challenges. Discipline serves as the training ground where character is developed, strengthened, and refined through consistent effort and personal accountability. One of the most important qualities discipline develops is self-control. Self-control is the ability to manage desires, emotions, and impulses rather than being controlled by them. In a world filled with distractions and instant gratification, self-control has become one of the most valuable personal strengths a person can possess. Many people know what they should do, but struggle to do it consistently because they allow temporary feelings to guide their decisions. Discipline teaches a person to act according to principles rather than emotions. It enables them to resist distractions, avoid harmful habits, and remain focused on long-term goals. The more a person practices discipline, the stronger their self-control becomes. They learn that true freedom is not the ability to do whatever feels good in the moment, but the ability to choose actions that lead to a better future. This strength allows them to make wiser decisions and maintain direction even when faced with temptation or difficulty. Discipline also cultivates responsibility, which is a key element of strong character. Responsible people understand that their choices have consequences and that they are accountable for the results they create in their lives. Instead of blaming circumstances, other people, or bad luck, they take ownership of their actions and focus on what they can control. Discipline reinforces this mindset by encouraging consistent effort and personal accountability. A disciplined person recognizes that success requires commitment and that progress depends on their willingness to fulfill responsibilities even when it is inconvenient. This sense of responsibility extends beyond personal goals and influences how they treat others, handle commitments, and contribute to their communities. People with strong character do not avoid responsibility when challenges arise. They face difficulties directly, accept accountability for their decisions, and continue moving forward with integrity and determination. Another important quality developed through discipline is patience. Modern society often promotes the idea that everything should happen quickly, but meaningful success rarely occurs overnight. Most worthwhile achievements require time, effort, and persistence. Discipline teaches a person to trust the process and remain committed even when results are delayed. It develops the ability to continue working toward a goal without becoming discouraged by temporary setbacks or slow progress. Patience is essential because growth often happens gradually. Skills are developed through practice, relationships are strengthened through consistent care, and success is built through repeated effort over time. A disciplined individual understands that lasting achievements require endurance. Rather than seeking immediate rewards, they focus on steady progress and long-term outcomes. This patient approach allows them to remain committed to their goals while others become frustrated and give up too soon. Discipline also strengthens perseverance, which is the ability to continue despite obstacles, failures, and adversity. Every person encounters difficulties on the path to success. There will be moments of disappointment, unexpected challenges, and situations that test commitment and determination. Without perseverance, many goals would remain unfinished because the journey often becomes difficult before it becomes rewarding. Discipline prepares a person for these challenges by developing mental toughness and resilience. Each time they push through discomfort, continue despite setbacks, or remain committed during difficult circumstances, they strengthen their ability to persevere. Over time, they learn that obstacles are not barriers meant to stop them, but opportunities to become stronger and wiser. This resilience becomes part of their character, allowing them to face future challenges with greater confidence and determination. Perseverance transforms difficulties into valuable experiences that contribute to personal growth and long-term success. Perhaps one of the greatest ways discipline develops character is by building integrity. Integrity means living according to principles and values even when no one is watching. It is the consistency between what a person says and what they do. Discipline strengthens integrity because it requires individuals to follow through on commitments regardless of external recognition or reward. A disciplined person does not depend on praise, supervision, or pressure from others to do what is right. They develop internal standards that guide their behavior and decision-making. This creates trustworthiness, reliability, and authenticity, qualities that form the foundation of strong character. People with integrity earn respect because their actions align with their words and their behavior remains consistent regardless of circumstances. Through discipline, a person learns to honor commitments, maintain high standards, and act with honesty and responsibility. Over time, these qualities become deeply rooted within them, shaping a character that is strong, dependable, and capable of achieving meaningful success while positively influencing the lives of others. Discipline creates freedom because it gives a person control over their choices, habits, and direction in life. Many people view discipline as something restrictive, believing it limits their ability to do whatever they want whenever they want. In reality, the opposite is true. A lack of discipline often leads to limitations, while discipline opens doors to greater opportunities and possibilities. When people consistently give in to distractions, procrastination, and unhealthy habits, they become controlled by circumstances rather than controlling them. Their lives are shaped by impulse instead of intention. Discipline changes this by placing responsibility back into the hands of the individual. It allows a person to make decisions based on their goals and values rather than temporary feelings. Through discipline, people gain the ability to direct their lives with purpose and confidence, creating opportunities that would otherwise remain out of reach. One of the most powerful freedoms discipline provides is freedom from regret. Many people look back on their lives wishing they had used their time more wisely, worked harder toward their goals, or taken advantage of opportunities when they had the chance. Regret often grows from neglected responsibilities and missed opportunities rather than failed attempts. Discipline helps prevent this by encouraging consistent action and personal responsibility. A disciplined person understands the value of time and strives to use it productively. They take action on important goals instead of endlessly postponing them. They understand that every day offers an opportunity to move forward, learn something new, and improve their circumstances. By making intentional choices and following through on commitments, they reduce the likelihood of looking back with disappointment. The freedom from regret comes from knowing that they gave their best effort and remained faithful to the responsibilities entrusted to them. Discipline also creates financial freedom. Many people desire financial stability, but achieving it requires consistent habits and wise decision-making. Wealth is rarely built through luck alone. It is often the result of disciplined choices made repeatedly over time. Budgeting, saving, investing, controlling spending habits, and avoiding unnecessary debt all require discipline. While these actions may not provide immediate gratification, they create long-term security and independence. Individuals who practice financial discipline gain the freedom to make decisions based on their values rather than financial pressure. They are better prepared to handle unexpected challenges and take advantage of opportunities when they arise. Financial freedom is not simply about having money. It is about having choices. Discipline creates those choices by establishing habits that lead to stability, growth, and long-term prosperity. Without discipline, financial stress often limits options and creates unnecessary burdens that affect every area of life. Another important freedom created by discipline is freedom from destructive habits and unhealthy patterns. Many people feel trapped by behaviors that continually hold them back from reaching their potential. Whether it is procrastination, poor time management, negative thinking, or other harmful habits, these patterns often create invisible barriers to success. Discipline provides the power to break those cycles by replacing destructive behaviors with productive ones. It teaches a person to make decisions that align with their goals rather than their impulses. This process is not always easy because changing habits requires consistent effort and self-control. However, each disciplined choice strengthens a person's ability to overcome weaknesses and develop healthier routines. Over time, they experience the freedom that comes from no longer being controlled by habits that once limited their growth. Instead of being trapped by destructive patterns, they become empowered to create a life that reflects their highest potential. Discipline creates freedom in relationships as well. Strong relationships are not built solely on emotions. They require commitment, consistency, and responsibility. Trust, respect, and loyalty are strengthened through disciplined actions over time. People who demonstrate discipline in their relationships keep their promises, communicate honestly, and remain dependable during both good times and difficult seasons. They understand that meaningful relationships require effort and intentionality. The discipline to listen, forgive, show kindness, and honor commitments creates deeper connections and stronger bonds. This leads to greater emotional freedom because healthy relationships provide support, encouragement, and stability. In contrast, a lack of discipline in communication and behavior often leads to conflict, misunderstanding, and broken trust. By practicing discipline in the way they treat others, individuals create an environment where relationships can thrive and provide lasting fulfillment. Perhaps the greatest freedom discipline creates is the freedom to become the person you were meant to be. Every individual possesses unique potential, talents, and opportunities, but potential alone is not enough. Potential must be developed through consistent effort and intentional action. Discipline provides the structure necessary for that development to occur. It allows a person to grow beyond limitations, overcome weaknesses, and continually improve. Instead of being controlled by fear, laziness, distractions, or circumstances, they gain the ability to shape their future according to their vision and purpose. This freedom is deeply empowering because it comes from self-mastery. A disciplined person is not dependent on perfect conditions or constant motivation. They know they can trust themselves to act, persist, and continue growing regardless of challenges. Through discipline, they gain control over their choices, maximize their potential, and create a life defined by purpose, achievement, and lasting fulfillment. The more disciplined a person becomes, the more freedom they gain to pursue meaningful goals, seize opportunities, and live according to the values and purpose that truly matter.